Liz, the other Liz, not me. You have a great comment here on the urgency. I would love if you want to talk about that more. I think that's huge, and it actually goes to Stevie and some other people are putting good things in the chat on timing, and I think yours dovetails great with that.
And thank you. I mean, this is all so great. I think sometimes, especially for those of us that can absorb other people's feelings, if just depending on even the industry we're in, nonprofit world, it's very easy to do that. And I think, it's easy to feel responsible for somebody else's urgency when they're coming to you and you feeling like, oh, I need to solve this for them. And then you inherently take that on. And it becomes, it becomes your problem that even after they've dealt with it themselves, you're still holding on to that energy because it was never yours to begin with. So I think sometimes it's even asking the other person, is this something that, how's your plate? Is your plate very full? And if they say to you, yeah, like I'm drowning here, it might give you some idea that, maybe they're having trouble delegating properly. Maybe they're the ones that are, feeling all of these things that we're talking through right now. And sometimes just getting someone to recognize the position that they're in, um, can really just help provide some clarity for you. So it helps you make a good decision for yourself moving forward on either what to say next or how to approach it next.
Yeah. Liz, it sounds like you're an empath. So,
Yeah.
you know, when people, and so am I, which proves why I didn't do patient care, bedside care for many, many years. But the thing is that when you are empath, you have to ground yourself and you have to know the difference of when you're feeling someone else's urgency versus feeling your own. That's why before I just, smudged and saged myself down and maybe, got really clear. But yes, you do need to know the difference when you're feeling someone else's energy versus your own and not to easily get sucked into it. And what happens is when you know that you've been sucked into it is when they go on their merry way and then you're the one that's drowning now. So
Exactly. And you're like, wait a minute,
yeah.
how is my
Mm-hmm.
plate overflowing now? Why do I feel like my role is riding on this? Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, dear.
Guys, I have a private question, which reminds me that in the beginning of this session, when I lost my mind, I forgot to remind you that if you want to ask a question anonymously, please just send it to myself or to Liz, and we're happy to ask it on your behalf. So the question here is, it feels easier to have this conversation with women, but it's a bit terrifying to have it with men. Saying no makes me a little uncomfortable. Any tips there? Having confidence in myself could be one. Also wondering how gender roles might play here.
Well,
And maybe it's a work related thing. I'm not sure. This person didn't mention it, but
I've said no to my boss. I've said no to my dad. I've said no to my husband. So I mean, I cannot say that I felt like it was a gender specific. I do recognize saying no in the workplace overall can make a huge impact on as far as how confident you feel about yourself or not about yourself. Because you're there to work, you're there to provide a service to this company. And so it feels a little uncomfortable to say no until you get used to it. I think that you also have to feel confident in who you are as a person and who you are as a woman. Um, I can't say that gender for me is a really big issue, um, but I do understand exactly where you're coming from. The thing is that you want to come from a place of compassion, not only for yourself, but for other people that are involved in that particular situation. And if you're being asked to do something that you honestly know is really not being meant for you, and it's just being delegated out to get it done, then you have to figure out how you can approach that situation with either this person that is asking you to do something or your manager or your supervisor, so that the best job overall can get done. Doesn't mean that it has to necessarily be about, be done by you. And the thing is that it can be done as a team. Sometimes things can be done as a team and you don't have to take the ownership of the entire job. But I do believe getting comfortable with who you are as a person, and, establishing confidence in yourself and standing in your own voice, is a big added bonus or benefit in being able to speak up to a man or speak up to a team member that happens to be a man.
Great. Thank you.
And men come with a different energy. So their energy is always going to be that male energy. Josh, I don't know if you listen or not, but it's always going to be that male energy.
I am.
Okay. Well, you come with a different energy. It's feminine energy and masculine energy is two different types of energy. And it feels very daunting to be a woman and come with that feminine energy and stand up to that masculine energy. So I get that, but you still got to be comfortable with who you are within yourself to be able to stand up for yourself in any situation.